really got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul Bearer, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm your host, Chris Rucker, along with my co-host, DJ Reed, and we are live to talk some professional wrestling 1.5 weeks away from WWE SummerSlam and barely removed from TNA Slammiversary. It's like every week, EJ, there's something else to talk about in wrestling. But before we get to that, how you doing? How was your weekend?
Weekend was okay, nothing too exciting, nothing too boring, just right there in the middle. But wow, I didn't realize we were that close to SummerSlam. What date is it?
The week after this, August 2nd and 3rd. So you got a week and a half. You got one more free Saturday before SummerSlam takes over your weekend.
That's crazy, man. Where's this year gone? I feel like it was just New Year's, like 2 days ago, and now it's more than halfway through the summer. That's crazy.
In fairness, SummerSlam is usually the end of August, and they got it at the beginning of August. But this new TKO thing, man, they pumping out PLEs every 2 weeks, it seems like.
I know, right? It's been a while since it's been like late August, though, right? The one we went to like in 2022, that was like in July.
Yeah, they changed it that year, and then I feel like they went back to mid to late August. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, who knows? The hell with tradition, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But how was your weekend, man?
My weekend was good. Went to Atlanta United soccer game. My cousin Reggie was in town, so Friday night we met up with him at the Battery and got a couple drinks here and there, sang some karaoke, and took an Uber ride back home, hung by the pool. Like, I really didn't do a lot this week. This weekend was real, like, low-key. It was the first weekend I didn't work out a lot. I just did a little cardio. I didn't even work out at all on Saturday. I felt really guilty, too, because it's like, we're like 80-something days into at least working out once. And Saturday I was laying around, but I was kind of hungover. So I was like, man, fuck the gym. And about 5 o'clock, I was like, I should have took my ass to the gym.
Sometimes your body needs the rest, so nothing wrong with a little R&R. But you said your cousin Reggie?
Yep.
Your first cousin, second cousin? I never heard of this cousin Reggie before.
First cousin. He lives in Charlotte. My mom's brother. It's one of his kids. Yep.
That's what's up. Y'all went to older cousin, younger cousin?
He's younger by a couple years. And he's down here visiting one of his friends and a couple other people. And what's up after show, but later. Visiting a couple people, and he's like, my family, man, they just fucking, we don't plan shit. Well, I shouldn't say we. My family doesn't plan anything. If I'm coming into town, I'll let you know a couple weeks ahead of time. He hits me up like Friday. He's like, yo, I'm in town tonight. What's up? Like, fuck, we didn't plan on doing anything. But I was like, if you can meet around the Battery, which is like 2 minutes from my house, I was like, I'll come grab a drink with you. You're in my city, ain't nobody else here, like family wise. Like, yeah, we'll grab a drink. And so we met up, and it was just supposed to be one drink, and that turned into fucking, I don't even know what time we left. I just remember looking at him like, dog, it's time for me to go. And I left him at the Battery. I was like, text me when you get back to your hotel. His hotel was like in Midtown somewhere. So, but he got, I will say this, he got one of those driverless Ubers, which I didn't even know they had in Atlanta.
I told you about it a couple weeks back.
No, this was in Atlanta though.
Yeah, I said I was telling you about Waymo. It's like it's in Atlanta. I saw it's in Atlanta, and you were like, "Oh, is it?"
Oh, I feel like I looked it up and it just said it was in like Colorado, LA, and places like that. But now I got it connected with my Uber, so there's certain Uber rides you got to select to have a choice. If I'm going somewhere far, like I get on the highway, I ain't fucking with that. But if I'm like bar hopping in Atlanta, going from like North Side to Peachtree or something like that, yeah, I might fuck around and do it. That'd be fun.
Hey man, you should do it. I was out there in Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, shout out to Daniel Javier Fitz in the chat. He was on Haymaker a couple weeks ago. He lives out there in Arizona. Yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't feel like I was in danger or anything. I was just sitting back, and like I said, when I talked to you about it a couple weeks back, you don't have to worry about people talking to you, which is the best thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's my favorite. I always select the quiet ride when I'm on Uber because my girlfriend's real chatty. So she'll get in there and just automatically be like, so how was your day? And I'm like, God damn it. Like, why would you ask such an open-ended question? You never know what most people will be like, oh, it's good. But she always asks the motherfucker that's like, well, my kids are acting crazy and my pastor died and there's rats in the roof. And it's just like, I don't give a fuck about the internet, man. Just get me to my destination. But I do want to say, what I want to do, my buddy Robert is going to Vegas with us in September. I want to, like, when we're drunk and we need somewhere, I want to order one and not tell him and see if he fucking notices there's no fucking driver up there, because that'd be fun.
Is Vegas on the list? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Vegas have the okay. Hey,
Vegas has the Tesla tunnels. Remember I told you about that during WrestleMania?
I don't. Yeah, you probably did mention that, but that was a while ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, they got a whole like depending on where you're going, you'll get dropped off, and you'll have to go down to the bottom, and it's free. But in order to get to like where the Westgate was and the convention center and all that, they just have tunnels that are built, and there's guys driving Teslas. They just pick you up and they drop you off. They drive through these fucking one-way tunnels. It's freaky as hell, and they drop you off where you're supposed to be going. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's like an extra step. Like, I could have just fucking got dropped off by the monorail, but whatever. Put me in a Tesla tunnel.
I know the Tesla has the driverless feature, but I heard, isn't it like a little bit faulty or something like that?
Shit, I don't know. I figured all of them were supposed to. Why would they allow people to get in them if they're faulty?
You know, shit happens, right?
I hope not. While I'm in it, I hope. Shit.
The one that I was gonna say, the one with Waymo, they got all Jaguars for some reason. I don't know why Jaguars out of all the cars, but I felt safe.
Nothing wrong. I didn't know Jaguars had electric cars, let alone driverless.
Who knew? But yeah. I say when you do it, you should record. You say your buddy right there in Vegas, right?
Oh, I plan on it.
That'd be funny. But what's up? You mentioned going out to karaoke. How was that?
You know, don't trust white women.
Where are we going with this?
Wherever you want to. So,
Hey, man.
my girlfriend's a white woman, obviously. And she says she likes dancing, right? Like, I've told you stories about her taking me out to these weird clubs at night that I've never been to. There's just a dance club. And I just want to go dancing. So when we went to Japan, we were at this nightclub. And I'm not a dancer. I don't like it. Like, I'll stand there while you dance on me all day, you know? You know what we used to do? You lean against the wall and you just fucking... That's me. I'm that guy. We get to Tokyo and these people got a big dance circle and I get pulled into it. So I'm like, whatever, we're in a different country. Like, I'll have fun and go with it. Thinking that when it gets to her turn, she's going to get in. She's like, nah, I'm good. Like, what the fuck? You're the dancer in the relationship. Like, you're supposed to be the one going in, right? She loves karaoke. We get to karaoke Friday. I'm sitting there minding my business. I hear, and now, next up, we have Rucker singing Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker. And I'm like, who else's name in here is Rucker? That's crazy. Because I didn't sign up for nothing. This motherfucker signed me up, and then she didn't even sing. I sang Wagon Wheel, and then I did PYT by Michael Jackson because it was kind of dead in there. So I figured I'd liven everybody up. But yeah, we did karaoke and went to a piano bar where they had a live band, and some kind of way we ended up in like a paid VIP section just by walking in, and got like right next to the fucking stage, and just walked in and sat down like we were supposed to be there. Nobody said anything, and that was when I realized I was too drunk and it was time to go home.
Man, you know when it was time to, hang it up and you didn't overstay your welcome, right?
No, I never do. You know me. Like, we could be in the middle of having a good ass time, and where the fuck did this nigga go? Get a text the next day. You get home all right, dog?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, it's funny. They just signed you up for karaoke. For some reason, like, I'm a karaoke person. At the CRC, I was the first one of the Carls that did the karaoke song. So
oh no shit!
Reason, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not one to be like the center of attention. I like to just lay back and chill. But for some reason, karaoke is my thing. And then dancing too. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a dancer, but I have rhythm and I like to dance because I got friends that are dancers that like actually dance their asses off. But I have rhythm. I don't embarrass myself, and a couple drinks in me, I'll be on the floor doing the wobble or the cha-cha slide or Cupid shuffle or all that.
I'm a wobble watcher because that's when all the women get out there is when the wobble comes on. I'm like, yeah, I have front row seat for that shit.
Nice little view,
Yeah, that's why I love every wedding. Wobble comes on. I have no rhythm. For a black man, I have zero rhythm. I won't embarrass myself when I get out there, but I'm also not like the best dancer in the world. Like, I can, what's it called? You tuck your elbows in. That's me. Tuck your elbows in and snap to the beat. That's it. That's all I need. After show later said the EJ walked in to the Cat to Meow and walked straight to the mic and sign up desk.
Yeah, I told you. I was the first person up on there because I know it. If you don't get there as soon as you get in, then you will be waiting for the whole night. Yeah. So I made sure to get it in because once I get tired, I'm like you said, I'm like, peace.
I've been to the Cat to Meow twice and haven't been able to sing. I've signed up twice and never got to sing because I think the Cat to Meow is one of those weird places where the person hosting sings every other song too, and it's like, why the fuck are you singing every other song?
Exactly. Yeah, some people use the cheat code and then it's like, you just sung and now you're back up again.
Right.
But
I thought the person doing the karaoke thing was only supposed to sing if nobody's signing up. Like, they're supposed to get everybody hyped. Those motherfuckers are like, no, every other song is me. I don't care if it's 35 people signed up. I'm singing 70 times.
I know, right? But for the CRC listeners, they talk about after show, but later Daniel being a boy band fan. I thought they were capping. He went up there on Cats Meow and did Backstreet Boys. I want to say, I Want It That Way, or
I saw the choreography. He did the dance too. Yeah, I saw the whole 9. That's funny.
Yeah, they weren't lying.
I'm a big karaoke fan. I'm not the best singer, but I will get up there. But I don't know. It's just something fun about watching people. Even when it's the annoying people that like go there like it's American Idol tryouts, it's still fun to see people. But when you get a motherfucker up there, you like, oh, what song is he singing? Oh, he's about to destroy this song, like in a bad way. And then they're good. You're like, oh shit. I don't know. Yeah. Something hype about it.
It's a thin line between, being surprised when somebody can sing and them showing off, because you hate the people that go up there and Mariah Carey, they know they can sing, and I can't sing, so the rest of us are just trying to have a good time, and you're up there actually trying to perform. It's a little bit eye rolly, right?
Yeah, it is a thin line, but I think it's good when it's the person that's there just having fun, but they still sound good. And it's like, okay, like, and they pick a good song too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you pick a good song that don't take a lot of fucking soul or whatever. You sound halfway decent. Everybody's drunk, so it's fun. After show later says it was NSYNC, dog. Get it right.
It was one of those boy bands. I thought he was Old Town. I thought Old Town was this group, but I digress. But yeah, you said you did Michael Jackson. I guess I'll take that. It's a happy medium. As long as you didn't do Robert Kelly, then I'll take it.
Nah. I did PYT just because that's a good. The crowd can sing along with you if they know it, which they did. Because hell, it was Atlanta. You know, of course the niggas knew it. So that's fun. But a programming note, just a reminder I got here. Next week we will be recording on Saturday, so we're skipping next Tuesday. I'll be on vacation, and we will be doing a live pre-show for WWE SummerSlam. Not just night one, but the whole weekend. We'll make our predictions then. So Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, mark your calendars. We will be live. We'll blast that out on social media. I know since we've been back live, it ain't we haven't been promoting it as much, but we'll get back to doing that. But yeah, a live show going into the biggest party of the summer. You know, might be some drinks involved. Who knows what'll get said?
Definitely be some drinks involved on my end. I don't know about you, but
I'm having a party Saturday, so SummerSlam. Well, not party. You know, got like 6-7 friends coming over to watch SummerSlam night one, so I'll be feeling good.
Second biggest show of the year, you know, so we'll be ready. But yeah, man, sounds like you had a more eventful weekend than I did. I did buy tickets for Canelo versus Crawford. You'll be out there in Vegas that weekend, so that was pretty interesting, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited to be out there during a fight weekend. I think I've been out there during UFC, but I don't think I've been out there during a big fight like that. And Canelo brings a crowd. Him and Crawford that'll be good. I saw the ticket. I was like, maybe I'll go. And I saw the ticket price. I was like, shit, I'll be at Circa at the sports book watching that motherfucker, because that is a lot of money they shelling. And if you're a boxing fan, which you are, I'm not as big. It's like a WrestleMania or a football ticket. But for somebody that's like a casual watcher like me, nah. In Vegas, fuck that. I'll hang out on Fremont while the fight's on.
It's rare that you have a stadium show for boxing. That's the only reason that I'm going. And, you know, you never know if there's to be another opportunity to do something like that. So I said, fuck it, I'm going. Because if it were at T-Mobile, it would be probably like triple the price for, you know, just nosebleeds. So
really?
To jump on it. Yeah, it only holds, 20,000? So, yeah, those prices for even UFC, TKO, you know, the tie-in are outrageous. So
I tell you what, had it been at like MGM Grand, I probably would have thought about it, just because I do want to see an event at one of those big casino stadiums that they got, just because of the history of like coming up watching wrestling and fighting and shit like that. A lot of shit happened at MGM Grand and all that type of stuff. So it'd be cool to go see that, which is, you know, why I made sure when I went to New York during WrestleMania that I saw a show at Madison Square Garden. And now I've been to Cowboy Stadium for wrestling. Like, I was real close to going to, when we were in Japan, there was a show at, I can't think of the name of it now, one of the halls in Tokyo, but it didn't work out because we were in Osaka at the time. But I was trying to go catch a wrestling show in Tokyo too, just, you know, check that off the bucket list. So there's a couple arenas and stadiums that I want to go see events at, but I've already been to Allegiant, so that's not that big of a deal.
So MGM, they also own T-Mobile Arena, so they don't run as many events at the MGM Grand, but they were there last weekend for Pacquiao. So I can't imagine what the ticket prices would be at. That holds I think 15, 17,000.
Man, at MGM, the way they build stuff in Vegas is just so crazy to me. Like, you're at a hotel / casino, and then you're walking to the pool, and you got all these huge restaurants everywhere. and then there's a sign that says MGM Garden Arena. And you're like, wait a minute. Like, I'm just trying to get to the pool. So if I go through that door, I'm at the fucking MGM Garden Arena. I don't know. It's crazy to me how big those fucking places are. Like, obviously you see it when you watch movies about Vegas and when you're flying in, but when you're actually in there, it's kind of a mind fuck a little bit. Like, I can't believe they got shit this fucking big, and it's everywhere. It ain't just MGM. It's like the Luxor is fucking huge, the Mandalay Bay is huge, Resorts World's huge. Like, just so many big ass places. Like, how do they keep the lights on in this shit? Oh, that's right. All these sorry motherfuckers losing money everywhere.
Pretty much. Like you said, how they get a big ass arena in this hotel? It's crazy to think about. Like you said, historic though. They used to run a lot of the WCW shows at the MGM.
Yep.
I don't know why WWF didn't go there. I can't remember them ever going to MGM.
After show Belater says he went and saw Morgan Wallen this past weekend in Phoenix. One of the times I went to Vegas last year, we were staying at Mandalay Bay, I think. Either Mandalay Bay or Luxor. And I looked up and it's just like all these fucking people in cowboy boots and cowboy hats and like mostly women. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, why are there so many fucking cowboy people here? Morgan Wallen was there. That was why he was playing at Allegiant Stadium, and apparently it was a really good show, really big show too. So
I remember grand closing moment with you and Morgan Wallen. I think it was like last year, maybe 2023. Like this Morgan Wallen kind of hitting. Then like a couple hours later, you said he dropped the M-bomb. Like, I'm cool.
Ain't listened to the motherfucker since.
I thought that was hilarious. It was maybe even a couple minutes after. You're like, wait.
Man, if nobody would have told me, I'd probably still be listening to Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, that was.
You say grand opening, grand closing.
But yeah, man, it's entertainment, wrestling, sports, everywhere. It's just spread out with the arenas and stadiums, and you get in where you fit in, right?
Yeah. That's why I love Vegas, and I do Vegas on a budget. Like, I go a lot, and people are like, "How do you afford to go to Vegas so much? It's so expensive." I'm like, it really ain't. Buy a cheap ticket to get there. Stay for free with your fucking gambling points or whatever. They give you, you gamble, and like the comps aren't as good as they were, say, 2 years ago, but they give you money to eat with. They give you money to gamble with just by you staying at the hotel, and you use that to your advantage. MGM is a lot harder to find where you can eat with than, say, like Circa and the D over in downtown, but still, like, if you use the shit, you save money because shit's expensive over there. But then there's places you can go to that aren't as expensive. Like, you can literally walk off the strip a couple blocks and find places to eat where you can get a breakfast for like $12 instead of $70. You know what I mean? It's all about convenience, and if you're willing to go look for deals and shit like that, which I usually am because I like walking around and sightseeing Vegas.
Yeah. Especially, I know you more of a downtown Vegas, but I didn't mind it. This was my first time staying downtown. Everything was right there, but I like the strip as well. So I'm kind of torn now after I had the good experience downtown.
Yeah, I tell everybody I'd rather stay downtown than the strip. I don't not like the strip. Like, the strip is fun. I'm just, like you said, downtown is so right there, and then Fremont is just like, it's like Bourbon Street, but a little trashier. But, like, it's also covered, and it's not as hot or as cold, depending on what time of year you go. It's a little bit cheaper than the strip. Like, I don't know if you've been to the Whiskey Liquor Up patio bar or whatever, but the drinks there are way bigger than normal and way big. Yeah, I tried to send you there last time, and you went to a different fucking place, so next time we go, I'll have to walk you over there myself now that I can drink with you and be like, this is what I was talking about. Because I think you went to I think you saw them ass cheeks right outside the D, and you went to that slushy bar thinking that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I think I went to the wrong one, but hey, You said you gotta direct me to the correct one next time.
Let's get into some pro wrestling, EJ. Which way you wanna get to?
Hey man, like the the wheel you spin, whatever you want.
Let's start with some TNA.
TNA Slammiversary. Did you watch it live?
No. Actually, yeah, I did. That was Sunday. Yeah, I watched it live. I was in and out, and then I kind of went back and saw what I wanted to see. But yeah, I watched it live. It was, first off, 7,600 people there. Biggest North American gate for TNA that wasn't overseas in the 23-year history of the company. It looked phenomenal where it was. And TNA's got really good momentum going now. And I've said it on here before, for my money, TNA's the best value in live wrestling you're going to get. Like, the tickets aren't that expensive. The show is way more crowd friendly. Really good wrestling, really good storylines, people that you know. Like, TNA is where it's at. If I had to pick AEW, TNA, or WWE, I'm picking TNA every time because, one, the ticket's going to be cheaper. Two, it's going to be in a venue that's a little bit more intimate. And three, the wrestling's just as good.
Yeah, the best bang for your buck. Yeah, shout out to them. Look, basically 8,000 people. That's nothing to sneeze at. Especially, it's what 5-6 years ago, people were saying that you should pull the plug on TNA, and
man, they've been saying this shit since the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like people sleep on the Spike era, like 05 to 2014. Like, people forget. Like, everybody's like, WWE was unopposed for 20 years. They had the Spike era where TNA was making some noise. And
I wouldn't give it a 7-year window. TNA fucked up by, they were getting like 2 million viewers a week on Spike, and then they tried to go head to head with Monday Night Raw, and they let Hogan and Bischoff take over, and then TNA went to the shitter for like 5 to 7 years. Like, it was unwatchable. But they did have really good momentum when Main Event Mafia was running shit, and like, I remember really good matches with like Sting and RVD, and Sting had turned heel for a couple years. RVD was the champ. Him and Sting were feuding over it. Then Angle, like, they were cooking, and then some kind of way Hogan and Bully Ray and all these fucking people got involved, and it kind of went to the shitter. But people have been talking about the demise of TNA for 15 years, man. Like, TNA's been the fucking redheaded stepchild of wrestling for the longest. People love hating on TNA for whatever reason. And it's been sometimes a little justified. But for the last 3, maybe 4 years, I think TNA's been really good.
Yeah, some people forgot they existed when they rebranded as Impact, and beginning of last year, they went back to TNA and been gaining good momentum. Of course, the WWE partnership doesn't hurt. But wasn't there a time period, like during the Bischoff and Hogan era, where I thought they were doing like big arenas for the pay-per-views? It's kind of interesting that 8,000 has been their biggest North American gate. I thought they were doing arenas for the pay-per-views over here during that time period.
No, they were doing, I think their biggest show was in San Antonio. 1 year, but when they would go overseas to like the UK, they do like 10-15, but they never got that big over here. But I'm hoping that they stick with the formula they got now, where they do like 4 or 5 tapings in one city, and that city is just like ready to go. They did it here in Atlanta like a year or so ago, where they did 2 or 3 nights straight at Center Stage. And it was really good. Like, you could see everything. The attendance was good. And the thing about wrestling with smaller, quote unquote, smaller companies, I always remember the old wrestlers saying their promoters always taught them, I'd rather turn people away at a smaller venue than have a bunch of leftover seats at a bigger venue. That way the product seems hotter, and the people that actually got in want to fucking be there, and they're involved, and it looks like, a small garage band as opposed to somebody that can't sell out the fucking State Farm Arena.
That's where AEW kind of learned their lesson, and they kind of scaled back, and now they're doing this 3-week stint in Philadelphia. And from what we saw this past Wednesday, the crowd was hot, it looked good, and they have these unique venues. So TNA is right along that. So it works. It works.
That venue AEW was in this week, and they're gonna be there for like a month. That looked phenomenal, especially the Tony Storm segment. Like the way they used the balcony and stuff like that. I just like seeing different shit like that. I don't care if there's only 1,800 people in there. That's a lot of fucking people in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, I know WWE's doing like 15,000, but 1,800 people paying to see you, it's still a lot of people. However you want to look at it. And that venue was really good. TNA does a couple venues like that. What's the fucking place in New York that looks like that? They used to do
Hammerstein. Is that Hammerstein?
Is it the Hammerstein? They used to do the talent show. What was the name of the fucking talent show Steve Harvey used to host? And they come out and fucking pull you off the stage with the hook.
Oh, are you talking about Showtime at the Apollo?
Yeah, the Apollo Theater. That was really good.
Yeah. That's in Harlem. But it's similar vibes though, right?
Yeah, I like that. I feel like they should have did a lot of... I feel like a wrestling show at the Apollo Theater would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to figure out like the logistics, and if it's, you could put a ring there, but I think that would be dope if they went to the Apollo Theater.
And where'd they have Def Comedy Jam at? I feel like that was a good looking little like theater where they had the opera seating almost at the top.
I watched Def Comedy Jam as a kid, even though I probably shouldn't, but I don't know where they were at.
Who was the host when you watched it? I started with Martin Lawrence. That's how I'm a little older.
Yeah,
than you.
It was Martin when I used to watch it as a kid. It was reruns, of course. I don't know if I watched like new episodes. But
no, I watched it live.
Mid-90s. It's like mid-90s where I first saw Def Comedy Jam, Comic View, all of that.
I remember Martin hosted, and then Joe Torre was the host for a little while. I remember my first time seeing Bernie Mac. He had like some Rick Rude type jeans on, like big graphic people drawn on his. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Whoop my shit right now, the whole room turned dark.
Hey, that shit used to be so funny.
Kick it.
Kick it. They turned music on. Def Comedy Jam was so... Was it? Okay. After Show Blader says Def Comedy Jam was also at the Apollo. That makes sense. They look...
Okay.
That's, I guess, why it looks similar to the fucking Showtime at the Apollo. I feel like a wrestling venue there would have been really good. But back to TNA. TNA Slammiversary was this weekend. I thought it was a really good show. They got the NXT WWE partnership going, and it's just one little thing that pissed me off about the show, and it's not the main event. I was fine with Trick winning the main event.
Does it start with a J and end with a J?
I try not to be a negative person in wrestling. I try not to complain about wrestling. I love wrestling. I've been watching it since I was like 5 years old. I'm 42. Like, why would you complain about something that you purposely watch and pay money for and dedicate time for, right? But Jacy Jayne's not it.
How come?
What do you mean, how come? You've seen her wrestle?
Go ahead.
She's been in 2 factions with 3 people. And she's been the worst person in every fucking faction that she's been in. She beat Stephanie Vaquer, who's probably one of the biggest female superstars in wrestling right now. Right? All on her wrestling. Stephanie Vaquer is not like Jacy Jayne. She doesn't speak English as well. She can't cut a promo. Her and Io Sky, right? They're like right here. You know how they got over? The bell rings. And when the bell rings, you can't fucking touch them. That's not Jacy Jayne. But you know what else? Jacy Jayne kind of sucks on the microphone. Her riz, as the kids say, ain't all that. When she comes out and she does that little dance move where she's going to throw her hip at a place, the shit hurts
Cringe.
to watch. What'd you say, cringe?
Yeah.
This one beat Stephanie Vaquer, defended the title against Jordan Grace at Evolution, and then walks away as not only the NXT Women's Champion, but beats Marsha Slamovich, who's had a hell of a run in TNA as the Knockouts Champion. And now she's got both titles. Couldn't wrestle her way out of a paper bag, but she's the champion of 2 companies?
To play devil's advocate a little bit,
You're going to have to advocate like a motherfucker for her.
my eyes aren't as keen as a lot of people's eyes, so I could tell when somebody just sucks, and I don't want to put any names out there, and I could tell when somebody's like really, really fucking good. But like when it comes to like the people in between, like I'm like, you're not like terrible, but I can't see why people are like hating on them like that. And she like is in that category to me, as far as like in ring.
I feel like I'm alone in this because I don't see a lot of people being like, Jacy Jayne's trash. I just don't see it. And I just don't see.
I've been hearing it like she's not that good. Maybe not talk about in ring. Maybe they just talk about overall presentation. But you're not the only one.
After show, Belater says he looked up Jacy Jayne on his computer at work, or his work computer. He found the wrong girl. Yeah, Jacy Jayne's not.
Jacy Jayne. He's looking at a whole different category.
But while you're on that channel, you want me to give you some more research material? I can give you my power rankings while you're on that website. I think she's not awful. Well, maybe she is. But
nah, she's not awful.
She's definitely not the person deserving of the spot. I shouldn't even say deserving, because who knows how like hard she works in her own time. But just on screen, she's not the person that should be in the spot that she's in right now. Of all people to be the first ever TNA Knockouts and NXT Women's Champion, you pick her?
That's a bigger discussion that I want to bring up a little later. But as far as her winning it, I called it. Like, I didn't post in our Discord, but it was in another like Facebook group before the event started. I said I could see both Trick and JC winning tonight, and them carrying this over to Bound for Glory. And lo and behold, that's what happened. Just because WWE is so formulaic when it comes to certain things. When I watched NXT last Tuesday, when I saw Marsha Slamovich beating up everybody, and that's how it ended, I'm like, oh, she's losing this Sunday, and that's what happened. So I called it. Like, I'm not the wizard of wrestling, but you know, when you see signs and you can see it happening. But
I mean,
as far as go ahead,
the same thing happened right before Evolution. Jacy Jayne took a loss, and I'm like, damn. Well, they're not gonna have her lose on Tuesday and on fucking Sunday, so I guess she's retaining the title against Jordan Grace. So yeah, you're right. The formula is, and I mean, what do they do? Like the go home show, whoever gets the upper hand in the brawl, that's who's losing the pay-per-view coming up.
Exactly. And I picked Jordan Grace because we were recording while that happened. If I would have known that happened, I wouldn't have picked her. But you know, it is what it is. But on the grander scheme of things, as I was referring to earlier, and I've mentioned this earlier, this is a one-sided relationship when it comes to TNA WWE, and we see it rears head again. Like you said, I'm not, mad at Trick Williams winning. I mean, Trick's put the work in, former NXT champion, and he's got the riz, as the kids would say, and he could talk. But you never see TNA people win anything on the WWE side of things. I don't know if it's going to change, though.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. As far as who's winning in the ring, yeah, WWE's winning. But we just talked about it like 6 minutes ago. It's the biggest house TNA's had in North America in the 23-year history of the company. So I'd say they're winning.
you got to elaborate on that. They're definitely winning, with the attendance, but yeah, I mean, it's no really metric where you could count it to say that this is all from the WWE partnership. It's like I said earlier, once they rebranded the TNA before they had the partnership announced, like the momentum was building, but definitely a WWE bump. Because if you look in the crowd, you saw a lot of WWE, paraphernalia and whatnot. So yeah, like behind the scene, you could say that, but like I don't give a damn like how much money you're making. Like I want to see some, equality. God damn it.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as like who's winning, like you said, TNA's getting their ass kicked on screen, but the object is to make money, and to sell out arenas and shit like that. And this is the biggest crowd they've ever done. They've been around for 23 years. So I'd say, yeah, on screen, their guys are getting their asses whooped, but they can't be upset about it. They're breaking records that they hadn't had before in 23 years.
That's true. But I feel like at this point, the whole AEW TNA partnership and WWE partnership as far as on screen are about equal. So I guess eventually, maybe a Bound for Glory will get a Santana or Joe winning it back from Trick, which is the same concept of Kenny dropping it to Christian and Christian dropping it to Josh Alexander, I guess.
I don't know if they'll wait for Bound for Glory. I've seen a couple people say that. Bound for Glory is in October.
Yeah. It's July. August, September, October. What, 3 months?
You think Trick will keep the title for that long?
Yeah. I don't see why not. Why not? They don't really have anything in between. And I can see JC keeping it for that long, too. Maybe they don't want to do both in the same night, but it is Bound for Glory, so I can see them both, the men's and the women's championships, being dropped at Bound for Glory and just being like, the moment they get clipped for everything and we're back on top and we rallied as a company to defend our turf, and it's Bound for Glory 2025 will be a memorable one. You don't see that happening?
Not really. I mean, yeah, more than likely everything does happen, but I'm just saying I don't think both of those keep the titles until Bound for Glory.
So you see Trick probably dropping it before Bound for Glory.
He has had it for the longest, but I think he's doing really good as the champion too. And think about that, like Trick Williams won the main event of Slammiversary. Like, I know he's in NXT, but that's a big deal. TNA's been around for 23 years. Like, you got guys like Sting and Angle and Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Like, all these guys are main eventing Slammiversary. And now Trick Williams did it as a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Like, I don't know if he even cares or knows about the history of TNA like that. But to me, that's an accomplishment you wouldn't get anywhere else as an NXT champion. Like, you could talk about guys like Adam Cole and, the Garganos and Finn Balor's and all these guys that were doing NXT takeovers. Yeah, cool. It was, in front of 15,000 people, but you were always known as the developmental brand, right? Like, you were taking over WrestleMania weekend and killing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to minimize it, but this is TNA Slammiversary. And now we're talking about putting Trick in the main event of Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory, the same pay-per-view that I went to in Atlanta and saw Sting wrestle Kurt Angle one-on-one for the same world title in the main event. Like, that's a pretty big fucking deal for Trick, man. Good for him.
Yeah, shout out to Trick Williams, fellow South Carolinian. So, always gonna vouch for Trick.
And I gotta swallow a little bit of pride too, because, or whatever you want to say, like, I was complaining about when Trick lost the title to Oba. I'm like, what are they doing with the guy? He's had 2 world title runs. They both ended in unceremonious fashion very quickly, like Jey Uso runs. And now look at him. So, fuck me, I guess. I was wrong. Now look at him. He's a fucking TNA world champion.
I wasn't too concerned when he lost the TNA championship because I didn't know maybe if he was going to win the TNA championship, but I thought that he might have been, main roster bound. So I knew he would be, okay, whatever happened. But I don't want to go too far off tangent. But like, what about Oba now? I feel like he's lost a little steam with this whole TNA situation.
Yeah. You talk about who's getting the better of the relationship. I tell you who's not. Oba Femi. He's lost in the sauce now. The ruler.
Matches with Yumi. I mean, but we've talked about this before. It's like a conversation for the men's division in general in NXT. You got Trick, who's doing this thing in TNA. Oba, he's a beast, but like everyone else, like what's going on with that?
As far as Oba, I'm sorry, I missed the question. I was responding to something.
I was just saying we always bring up how strong the women's division is in NXT, but then looking on the other side of things with the men's division, you got Oba, he's a beast, of course. Trick's doing his thing with TNA, but like everyone else, it's a little shaky, right?
Yeah, and they got Ricky Saints over there, and I feel like he just keeps losing to Ethan Page.
I can't disrespect Ricky like that. Yeah, they're doing their thing with the North American Championship, but yeah. Ricky, you got Ricky too, but besides those three, like what else you got though? This ain't the black and gold era.
Yeah,
I feel like they did a good job of digging themselves out of like the 2.0 era, and they were cooking. But I don't know, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it is kind of bare when you look at it. I think they have a bunch of new people coming up. Like a lot of people have gotten called up. Trick is over in TNA. Oba is your champion, but I feel like he's got no actual legitimate challengers. You got the Undertaker coming in today to confront Trick Williams, whatever the fuck that's for. I did see Trick talking shit to the Undertaker though. Did you see that?
That was funny because I didn't get to watch Raw live. I don't know. Oh, because I was doing Haymaker yesterday. So I saw when I go watch on the website, it has like the commercial free version, and they showed him come out. Vic Joseph was interviewing him. But he said,
"Wait,
come up to me, I'm gonna make your eyes roll in the back of your head. I don't really make your eyes roll in the back of your head. And I'm gonna take your knees out, like your shaky knees or something like that." It was hilarious.
That was on Raw?
Yeah, it was on Raw. It was
Man,
commercial.
This nigga need to put a shirt on. I thought he cut that promo after at TNA, and he was about to go wrestle. I didn't realize he was just hanging out at Raw with no shirt on.
Yeah, that was at Raw. I got the commercial, so if I was watching live, I wouldn't even seen it, and I probably wouldn't wait and go back and saw it. But so I'm glad I got to watch it later. Yeah, I like that little segment.
Trick got a whole lot of energy like me, because if I ever get in shape, I'm never wearing a shirt either. If I look like Trick, I wouldn't wear a shirt either. I don't give a damn where I go. Oh, you want to do an interview? Hold on. Let me take this fucking shirt off, put some baby oil on real quick. I thought he had just got out the ring when he cut that fucking promo. He was all shiny. I said, damn, he just won the fucking Slammiversary main event and cutting the promo. That boy said, you act like your knees ain't got an expiration date.
Yeah, that's the exact quote. That's funny. He can talk the talk, and that'll carry you a long way as far as WWE goes. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So Trick Williams defeats Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. I feel like Joe Hendry's fallen all the way off. Which,
really? I don't think so.
I feel like he's an afterthought in all this.
He's definitely lost a little steam, but I don't know. I feel like it's neck and neck between him and Santana as far as fanfare, and the cream always rises to the top. So whoever can pull ahead, bound for glory, will get the look. Because I was trying to think of like who's going to get that look, because you can't go multi-man match again. You got to do one-on-one as far as like bound for glory goes.
I disagree. I think Santana's like left him. I think if you remember, it was supposed to be a one-on-one match with Trick and Joe Hendry, and they end up putting Santana in the match with him. I feel like Santana's left him as far as popularity goes. Like, Joe Hendry's cool. He's got a cool song, gimmicks over and all that. But like, you talk about who I want to see win, I'd rather see Mike Santana win. But I mean, I'm also a guy that watched this dude on AEW and TNA back in the day, and saw his tag team kind of flounder and all the shit he went through, how he got himself in really good shape. He was never in shape like he is now. And his whole story. And at first I was like, oh, that's a cool story, but I don't really give a shit. And then slowly but surely, like, I start paying more and more attention to it. And I wanted him to win on Sunday. And I'm a Trick guy. But I was like, come on, Santana. And when he hit that fucking discus forearm or elbow 2 times on Joe Hendry, I stood up. I was like, oh shit, he's about to win. And then here come Trick Willie. Just like a South Carolinian, thieving in the middle of the night.
Hey, man. Don't be hating. Yeah, I mean, I thought Trick was going to win the whole way just because my wrestling brain can't turn off. And I'm like, all right, even though you feel like Joe Hendry has lost a little bit of steam, they've invested a lot in the Joe Hendry. And like you said, Mike Santana has gained a lot of steam. I'm like, I don't think they want either one of these people to win like in a triple threat match type of setting. They want them to have their moment one-on-one. So I'm like, all right, Trick's retaining, and that's what happened. And it's a little bit of fool's gold because Mike Santana was out there in front of his home crowd as far as New York goes. He's in New York. He's from the BX, and they're in Long Island. So I don't know. They said like it was a lot of fan groundswell with him getting in the match. Like where did this happen? This was like social media where people were vouching for him to get in the main event?
I honestly don't know. I just know he's really popular. He got a good reaction both times he was on NXT that I watched. He gets a good reaction with TNA. I know he was in New York, so of course the reaction was going to be big there. But I don't know. I think Santana's got like a grassroots type thing, and it's not just a gimmick or a song online or whatever. It's just him being a wrestler, and people are getting behind him. And TNA fans want a TNA wrestler to have the title, and that's what he wants. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't care about Joe Hendry anymore. I'm over it. Like, it was fun while it lasted, and I think a lot of people are getting like that. I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people are getting like that. I feel like Santana's got more meat on the bone to dig your teeth into than Joe Hendry does.
It's definitely a more organic type of build for Santana because I might have been even more down than you were when he first came to the company. I'm like, it's the same dude that was in Proud and Powerful. What was it?
Yep.
Proud and Powerful in AEW? I'm like, I can't even remember exactly how he came in when they did the vignettes for TNA. I'm like, all right, this will be a middle of the pack type of situation, and he'll try to build himself up a little bit and then try to get back on the main companies, or like not main companies, but like AEW or WWE. But no, like fans have been getting behind it, so, and he's in the main event scene and he's been getting chance, so exceeded my expectations. So I'm with it. I think they probably will lean that way when it comes to Bound for Glory, but I'm not the booker, so who knows what'll happen, right?
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch though. Hopefully, I don't know where Bound for Glory is this year, but hopefully they have Michigan. And I'm
Not
sure
even
TNA
Detroit.
does I'm sure they got research people to find out like who's watching and where the interest is for it. So hopefully they get a bigger crowd than what they had this past week for Slammiversary.
Yeah, the place they're going to, I can't remember what part of Michigan. I think it's close to the Grand Rapids area. It holds like 10,000 for wrestling, so it'd have to be a sellout for them to basically exceed what they did. I'm hoping it happens, though. You never know what happens. Nothing to do in Michigan like that if you're outside of Detroit, so go see some wrestling, right?
Right. Let's switch over to AEW, EJ. We had the fallout from AEW All In, where Hangman Page, your new World Heavyweight Champion, comes out, cuts promo, thanks a bunch of people, including Swerve. But it looks like I could have done without, and this is just nitpicking, but after that match we saw last Saturday night between Hangman and Moxley, I could have done without seeing them wrestle at all. Not just each other, but at all. Like, Last time I saw Moxley, he was being hung over the top rope, like looked like he was scared for his life, blood everywhere, tapping out. I don't need to see him for like 2 or 3 weeks. Not only did we see him, he was in a fucking match. I know it's not the most egregious thing in the world, but I don't know. I just feel like little stuff like that. Sell it. Let Hangman come out, cut his promo. He's limping around, right? He could barely get through the ropes. How's he going to wrestle in the 6-man? Let him come out and do his victory lap, and he's out of here. Push other storylines, and we don't need to see Moxley wrestle. But we got what we got. I didn't think it was the best follow-up. I didn't think it was bad, though. I did like Hangman's promo. So, how'd you feel about the fallout from AEW's main event at All In?
Not a bad episode by any means. Like, you did what you needed to do. You had Hangman come out and show the fans the championship, something we haven't seen in 8 or 9 months.
Right.
And it's been in past instances where we didn't even see the champion when they won the belt, so they've corrected themselves in that regard. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to add on what you said. Like I said, it wasn't a bad episode whatsoever, but I expected to be a little bit more fallout and a little bit more fireworks as far as follow-up episodes go. And like you said, I wish we would have seen Death Riders go away for a little bit. Or not even I don't know, because it's two things. Like, either you could have them go away a little bit, like you said, you don't see them, like they just had a gruesome match, and then we maybe see them pop back up. Or if you were to run them out, you didn't have to have a match necessarily, but I would have liked to see like the whole situation blow up and you just break them apart. Like, they just had like a regular run-of-the-mill match, and
right.
Like, why y'all just wrestling this? So I didn't really like that either.
I wouldn't even have minded if it would have been the Death Riders, but Moxley shouldn't have been on TV, I don't think. And again, this isn't This ain't gonna run AEW out of business or whatever, but it's just like, man, sell it to me a little bit. Like, the guy was just hung over the top rope and like got stabbed in the forehead with a fork, and he's cleared to wrestle 4 days later. Like, what kind of doctor y'all got? No wonder CM Punk left.
I know, right? But yeah, I think that would have been the perfect thing to do. Kind of have like the Death Riders. You don't have to address it. Just have them out there in a match, and then eventually bring Moxley back in the fold. And then they're like, "What? Like, you lost, man. You ain't a part of this anymore." Like, look at it. It's something. They just ran him out there like it was nothing, and not having anything happen at the end of the episode is really what got me. But they had Darby do his Daddy Sting impersonation. I thought that was a little bit cool, I guess. At least did like a little bit of something. How come?
No, that's Sting's thing. You're not Sting. Do your own thing.
Sting gave him the rub.
Okay. Rub your ass down the entranceway then. You ain't gotta be exactly like Sting. You're not Sting. Nobody's scared of Darby Allin. People were scared of Sting. Sting beat your motherfucking ass with that baseball bat. Nobody's afraid of Darby Allin. All the times we done seen this motherfucker get thrown down the steps on his skateboard. Like, ain't nobody scared of you, bro. You're 120 pounds. Standing up in the rafters. We can't even see your little bitty ass.
He'll throw a skateboard at you.
Man.
It's hurt.
Nobody worried about Darby Allin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they furthered things with Swerve and Okada. I think that's going to be fire, but...
Oof. Can't wait for that.
What does Hangman do now? They hadn't really carved out a path. I wish they would have carved out a better path as far as your follow-up episode of what we're doing with Hangman, and I don't really see anything right now.
I'm not worried about that so much as just because, like I said, I liked that he came out and took his victory lap, celebrated. I didn't need to see him wrestle. Also didn't need to see like a challenger step up right away either. Just, it was a long time coming for him to win. Like, he had to go through a lot of shit, not just physically, but like all the stuff with Swerve and Ospreay and winning the Owen Hart Cup. Like, dude had to go through a lot. Like, let him come out and celebrate. I'm fine with that. And you still got MJF looming in the background because he won the Casino Gauntlet. So that's clearly somewhere they're gonna go with it. So I didn't need a challenger already. I kind of needed. I was really fine with the segment with Hangman at the beginning. It's just the fact that they wrestled at. I don't know. That just for some reason that just chapped my ass when they did that.
Moxley definitely didn't need to wrestle. Neither did Hangman, but definitely not Moxley. Yeah, I don't know, but like you said, it's kind of nitpicking of us, but I feel like they could have went a few other routes besides that. So as always, the next show to kind of correct yourself a little bit, and you don't want to lose that momentum from All In, 27,000 people. So you got to keep up the momentum, and like you said, they're in a dope venue, so they could do things to kind of correct itself as far as what they did with the follow-up show. But what I did like though, Collision. I don't know if you saw Collision. I like how Athena came out and then she interrupt Tony Storm's promo and whatnot.
Yep.
I like that. That was good. I know you're an Athena fan.
Oh yeah. Well, before I get to them, I was gonna say I always like to, when I get on here and I hate on somebody for so long, and then they turn around, like Jordan Grace. I never really liked Jordan Grace, and then she started killing it with the wrestling. And I feel like I gave her props. I think this has been the most interested I've ever been in the Young Bucks.
Man, you hurting my heart right now.
Man, that shit was so funny watching them pull up in the Uber. and they got their locker room shit scratched off. Like, oh my god, I was just dying at it the whole night, and they're selling the hell out of it. Like, I've liked them. I shouldn't say like them. I've been interested in what they're doing. I don't know, the past month or so since they first got involved with all the Hangman and Moxley stuff. Like, it's been intriguing. They haven't been as annoying to me. So I just they've always been able to wrestle good matches. But I just want to say that the character work that they've done the last month or so has been, it hadn't gone unnoticed on my part. I know it doesn't matter to them or anybody else, but for somebody that hated on them for so long, I think they've been doing really fucking well. And this past week's episode of Dynamite was just, it's what it should have been. Like, it was perfect for what they did. Like, how we're sitting here complaining about Moxley, this was perfect for what the Young Bucks should have did after losing their EVP status. Phenomenal.
As objective as I could be, it's been entertaining. Like you said, they pulled up in the Uber, they got their name scratched off. They took away their pyro, didn't they? Yeah,
you have wrestlers like not wrestlers, the ring announcer was talking shit about them when they were coming out. Like, everybody was getting their shit in on them, even Ricochet.
He said, what Ricochet said? Y'all ain't in power no more. I know
right.
Marina gave him the cold shoulder. So that has been entertaining. But I think me and you are in the same boat as far as like how you feel about Punk and his WWE return. Like, you give props when props is due, but at the end of the day, you don't fuck with Punk. I think that's how it is with me and the Bucks. Like, I'll give them props where props is due as far as like when they are entertaining. You can't take away from what they do in the ring, but I don't know, they just rub me the wrong way. I feel like they're just assholes behind the scenes and left money on the table, and I don't know. Just the behind the scene things always rub me the wrong way about them. Kind of like with you and Punk.
I mean, Punk ain't just behind the scenes though. He's like out on TV being a fucking asshole. And whatever. Well, I'm not gonna waste precious airtime on this motherfucker. Like, in his awful promo with Gunther, but whatever. I ain't even got that in the notes. That's how bad that shit was.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Come on,
it was awful. Gunther fucking put him in his place and walked off. Punk couldn't even say nothing.
Yeah, Gunther cooked.
What happened to your arms too short to box with God, CM Punk? He got rich. He got unmotivated, and now he sucks. There was a sign in Chicago this week that says, CM Punk just isn't cool anymore. And I'm like, he never was, bro. He was just from Chicago, where you're from. CM Punk was never cool. He had a
Sound
fucking
like
Pepsi
UFC.
tattoo. Who the fuck drinks
Straight
Pepsi?
edge. Straight edge.
But who drinks Pepsi? You know the surefire way to get me to leave your bar and never come back? When I say, can I get a Jack and Coke? And you say, I got Pepsi. So I got to get the fuck out of here. This is not somewhere I want to hang out.
It's all the same thing. It's all cola, right?
No, it's not the same thing. That's like saying sweet tea and regular tea are the same thing, EJ.
It's just a bunch of food coloring,
Nah.
carbonation, and sugar.
Pepsi tastes like shit. And I drink Coke Zero. I don't drink regular Coke. So Diet Pepsi and Coke Zero, oof, those aren't even the same fucking food group.
Hey, Pepsi's still in business, isn't it? So some people like it, right?
Yeah, because of CM Punk and my son.
CM Punk, was the person that kept Pepsi afloat somehow.
My son loves fucking Pepsi. I don't know why. Like, his mom loves Coke. I love Coke Zero. And he's like, nah, I like Pepsi. I'm like, you're just trying to be different, motherfucker.
I mean, I don't like if I do have to drink, I take Coke just because I think Pepsi is too sweet for me. Maybe if people like a lot of sugar.
My grandparents loved Pepsi when I was a kid. They always had Pepsi in the house.
Yeah, I remember those days with those 12-ounce cans that came in a little long square box. They came in a long square box.
Yeah.
I used to keep those. It had like what was it? How many cans come in it? Like 16 or so cans in the Pepsi carton.
My grandparents used to always have a 2-liter Pepsi on deck, and then they'd have one in the dugout too. Like it'd be one in the fridge and one in the cabinet.
My parents used to keep the soda, the cartons full of cans of soda in the pantry. You do the liters, those things get flat quickly.
Not at my grandparents' house because they drank the shit out of them. They never got flat.
There you go. That's fortunate. I remember like the few times where you do get the liter, those things will go flat really quickly. So.
Nah. I always get a 2-liter when I go to Vegas. It never goes flat because it ain't there long enough.
There you have it. That's the trick. Drink it fast.
Go to the come down off the escalator when you're getting off the plane. And there's a liquor store right there in Vegas. Every time I go there. I get a big bottle of, depending on how long I'm staying, I might get a 1.75 liter or I might get a regular bottle of Captain Morgan and a Coke Zero.
You're fancy, man. I feel like that airport liquor store is real expensive.
No way. Compared to that little, like, say you're on the strip and you're walking through from like Luxor to Mandalay Bay. There's a liquor store in there, EJ. There was a bottle. It was a quarter of the size of a regular bottle of Jack. And I was going to buy one. I asked the guy, I was like, how much is this? Because it didn't have a price tag on it. He told me $42.
What was this?
It wasn't even half of a regular. So, you got the 750, you got 375. It was like smaller than 375. And he said $43. The airport, a big bottle of Captain Morgan's like $25, I think.
That ain't bad. I wish I was a Captain Morgan drinker though.
I was gonna say it also depends on what you want. Like if you want Makers or the shit you drink. Like I normally drink Jack or Crown, but when shit's priced out like that, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll fuck with Captain Morgan this weekend. Like, it is what it is.
I go to like Jim Beam if like the Makers is hitting a little too high.
I feel like Jim Beam gives me a hangover.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe
Jack,
I'm alcoholic.
Jack, I'm fine with. Crown, I'm good with. But Jim Beam is just cheap, which sucks because I love Jim Beam Red Stag. But Jim Beam is just cheap enough that it's got that one ingredient in it that gives me a real bad hangover the next day.
I think like with the lower cost liquor, they don't distill them as much. They don't take the impurities out.
Yeah,
that's what gives you the headache. I want to say, but I'm no expert. But
I am.
And there you have it.
You were talking about Tony Storm and Athena. That program looks like it's full speed ahead. Tony Storm's wrestling Billy Starks this week, and Athena teased her cash in, and Tony Storm was like, she pulled a Cody. You remember Cody was going at it with Jericho, and he was like, we ain't in WWE no more. Like, just because you in the box talking shit don't mean I can't come up there and fuck your shit up. And went through the crowd and went up there, and Tony Storm did the same thing. She's like, bitch, you think I don't know how to get to the top of the balcony? Shit. And Athena fucking put them running boots on, and she was out of there. I liked it, though. I like the build to this one already.
Where do you think they're going to have this match at? Maybe All Out? I don't
Wrestle
think they have
Dream?
it at... That's going to be in St. Louis. That's not until... October
18th. That's my daughter's birthday. I was actually looking at that. I really quickly thought St. Louis ain't that far away, and I thought, nah, I'm never going to St. Louis again. And then I looked at the date, and I was like, yeah, I'll be at Hogwarts in Orlando that day. So,
yeah, I may not be able to go. I have a meeting that day. So
on a Saturday?
Yeah, it's for the alumni chapter of my frat. There's a meeting but I might be able to move some things around and able to go. They were at Dynasty last year. That's the last time I went when they were in St. Louis. So I might, but still up in the air. But what's the other pay-per-view?
Forbidden Door.
I don't think they have it at Forbidden Door. So I think it'll be at All Out, or like you said, Wrestle Dream. But it sucks that somebody has to lose, and I don't know if on deck that Athena might dethrone her, which is unfortunate because Athena's been doing crazy ass work in ROH the past 3 years she's been champion, which is nuts.
Yeah, I think if they wrestle a straight up match, she won't win. But I think if she cashes in, like Money in the Bank type style, I think she will.
That's a possibility.
And I don't
know, man.
That's a good way to get the title off Tony without like making her look like she lost to somebody up and down. It's a good way to keep Athena heel, and Athena talks just enough shit to where she'd be good at bragging about it.
Yeah, but like with this ROH thing, they gotta shit or get off the pot because I don't think they'll sustain just being on this ROH app. They either got to get a TV deal or shut it down because like nobody's been seeing Athena's work. Like I'll tune in random ROH episodes, but I don't know if anybody else is. So like I guess it's the race between like them and TNA or who's gonna get the deal first. I'm hearing whispers that TNA is in the work of getting a new streaming deal, which will be great for them, but ROH needs to, get on it. And Tony Khan is always like, "Oh, we're working on it," or who knows what the fuck he's doing.
Coke. Well, it depends, right? Like you were at All In when Athena's music hit and she came out. They knew who the fuck she was.
Yeah, she's from Texas too, though, so you got to factor that in.
I don't know if that's all it, though. I think it's from the work she's been doing on ROH. Like, even me, a person that wasn't a fan of her, has, like, talked about how great she's been for, like, the past year and a half. How much I've been into it. I don't subscribe to ROH. I watch it when I can, where I can. So, just because the numbers aren't up doesn't mean people aren't watching. Now, business model-wise, obviously, they're not making money off of it if you're watching it through other means, but I don't know. I think ROH has that history. Like it's kind of like TNA, where I don't want it to go away. Even if I dip in and out of it, like the last thing I want is for, and I know it's a part of AEW, but ROH just got like such a long history of being one of the B tier organizations in North America, and I think there's a way you could bring it back. But I just don't know if Tony has the patience and the wherewithal to do it. I think the way he's doing it now is just the way he's going to do it. But I don't know. I think I don't want to see Athena lose the ROH Women's Championship. I'd rather see her cash in, beat Tony, and then forfeit it.
I think Billy needs to beat her for that ROH Championship.
Nah, this ain't NXT. She ain't got to lose on her way out. Billy can win the tournament. Also, like, Billy Starks? I don't want to see Billy Starks as the champion.
You've been vouching for, like, a dominant champion to vacate their belt for, like, the past couple of years we've been doing this show, and I haven't seen it happen once.
Yeah, well, you're about to.
I get it. I get what you're saying, because, like, you don't have to go by tradition and, you know, look at the lights on your way of elevating, but I don't know. I feel like they've been telling a story with her and Billy, and I feel like that's the way to do it as far as ROH. Because basically, even though it's not apples and apples, it's ROH is basically like their NXT. So let Billy do something with it. She's already been the television champion. But going back to what you said earlier, I don't want to see ROH go away. But like you said, we're watching, but you're not getting those metrics to see how well it's doing because none of us are subscribed to the ROH app. I just feel like I've talked about these two options before on shows we've done in the past. If you can't, like, you got the sister network with True, I feel like it'd be well on that. But if you can't do that, like, I feel like it's like right there. Where why don't you just throw it on Max as like first run on Max?
Maybe Max didn't pay for ROH. They just paid for AEW.
Yeah, but you know, you have to get like a big deal to throw ROH on there. Like, you know, throw us a little bit of something and first run on Max on Thursdays, 8 o'clock or whatever. Max exclusive. I don't know, man.
Pluto.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I'm curious to see what they do with Athena. Like you said, I think they should do like a random cash-in. I think that would be more intriguing than them announcing the match beforehand. But guess we got to wait and see, right?
Yep. Let's get on over to WWE as it's getting late very early. Cody and John Cena, they had a contract signing this past week. Cody broke the law and forged the signature. Apparently that's binding in wrestling. Now it's going to be a street fight, and I have a crazy prediction of how I think this is going to go.
Okay. What's that prediction?
I think The Rock comes back at SummerSlam.
Man, what? We should just count The Rock as just not being there. Why are we getting our hopes up?
That's what they want.
Why are we getting our hopes up there?
They want you to count my boy out, and it ain't happening. It's going to be a match. Cody's going to be hitting that crossroads little 3-time, right? He's going to hit 1, bam. Pick Cena up, hit 2, bam. Pick him up. He's going to be looking at the camera like doing his little Cody scowl. And you're going to hear, if you smell. And The Rock's going to come out like Thanos. That fucking entrance. And instead of Cody continuing to hit the crossroads and get the 3 count while The Rock's posing, he's going to stop because he's a dumbass babyface. And we're going to be full steam ahead to The Rock and Cody at WrestleMania without the title.
I wouldn't be mad at that. But you know how it goes when it comes to us booking stuff. They're listening and they probably go the opposite way of what's actually good.
Like, damn, that's a good idea. Let's do the complete opposite. What else could we do? Oh, I know. We could send Travis Scott down to the ring.
Please, no. But, yeah, I mean, we got to see The Rock come back at some point, and like you said, this would probably be a perfect opportunity to do that. But that's a long way. SummerSlam to WrestleMania.
Rock's
what
busy
do they
man.
do in between?
The final boss ain't just a wrestler, EJ. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He's in charge of a lot of stuff. He's on the board. He's on the board of directors. He ain't got time to just be coming to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown all the time. That's just beneath him now. You know what ain't beneath him though? Whooping Cody Rhodes' ass.
That is true. what was the phrase back in the day? AJ Styles, whoop John Cena's ass.
Beat up John Cena. Yeah.
Yeah, beat up John Cena.
And that leads me to my next question, though. Because I don't think Cody's winning at SummerSlam. So if not Cody, then who? Or does John Cena retire as the champion and ruin wrestling?
I mean, in a perfect wrestling world, just because I think both of us like chaos in a sense. I mean, you could have him retire with the title, take it in on some red carpets, and then have somebody swoop in and he does one last match at next year's WrestleMania.
I don't want to see that.
Okay, well, I want to hear your scenario if he does retire with the belt. But before you get to that, I don't think he does. I think you mentioned this a few shows ago that I think it might be Roman that takes it from him on his way out. And I don't see him retiring with him. But what do you see if he retires? You said you don't see that happening. So I'm guessing you don't think he retires with it, or you see a different scenario if he retires with it.
Roman did just casually mention that he was a champion in his little promo the other day, but we'll get to that in a second. If Cena retires with the title, I would love to see them keep the lineage of the championship, but it'd be a perfect time to debut a new title. Because the undisputed WWE Championship is the dumbest fucking name when there's another title. You ain't undisputed. So, hey, just the WWE Champion and World Heavyweight Champion like it used to be. Keep the lineage and all that. Cena retired that title, but he didn't retire the lineage. And you can make a different title. You can have a tournament running from fucking Royal Rumble through WrestleMania. That's what, 3 months, 4 months? January through WrestleMania?
But now you just combobulated or discombobulated in my brain, because if you're retiring, so he's just retiring with the physical title. That isn't, like, I don't know, for some reason I don't understand.
People have Trish Stratus retired as the champion, but the lineage stayed around. She retired as WWE Women's Champion. She won her last match. She won the title, and then they had to have a tournament to see who the next champion was. Just because you retire don't mean you retire the fucking belt. Like, you can keep that one, but the lineage is still here. Like, the next champion will be who we crown after this tournament.
Okay, so now I understand it from a shoot aspect, because that's what happens. Like in MMA or boxing, if a champ retires, then they'll have a match for the vacant championship.
Right.
From what John Cena is proposing, though, like, he's making it seem like once he retires, nobody is be eligible to win that belt again.
Well, he's a heel, EJ.
Like, yeah, so he's talking from like a villain perspective.
Yeah.
So that's kind of. So, yeah, so like if you're talking from a realistic perspective, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that, having a tournament, keeping the lineage. But from what he's saying, he's like, nobody's gonna be able to ever win this belt with the lineage again. So,
I mean, he's a heel.
Like that,
heels believe their own bullshit, right? Like, Thanos thought he was right with killing half the population.
Yeah.
Now, I sit in Atlanta traffic every day. I might agree with him. Like, I could do without half these motherfuckers. But, yeah, let John Cena retire with the belt. Have a tournament. Have like a 2 month. Actually, I said Royal Rumble through WrestleMania. The night after Royal Rumble, when whoever wins the Royal Rumble, they're clearly not eligible. They're going to fight whoever the world champion is. And then you have a tournament that culminates at WrestleMania. I wouldn't even mind like the semifinals happening night 1 of WrestleMania and the finals happening night 2. I think that'd be pretty dope. That'd be different.
I think that would be cool. But also, what I don't see, I may be wrong, I just don't see John Cena ending this run as a heel. I mean, he might do it, but just from even like a marketing standpoint, I don't think he wants to start his full-time Hollywood career as like portraying an asshole. It's just me. I mean, everybody knows that, this is a scripted entertainment, but I think he wants to, have a feel-good moment on his way out. I might be wrong, though.
He's had a feel-good moment for 20 years.
Has he though?
Yeah, he can come back Hall of Fame next year and get his feel-good moment.
Oh man.
Maybe John Cena really don't like you fucking wrestling fans, you know? Y'all been talking shit to this man for 20 years. Maybe he's like, fuck y'all. You don't get to give me my flowers. I got my flowers already. I'm gonna be an asshole on my way out. And y'all gonna remember me as the motherfucker that didn't care about y'all. I'm not posing for pictures. I'm not standing up on the turnbuckle. You want to see me holding the belt up? I'm gonna hold it up with my back to you. Because I don't give a shit about you. I've been saying for 20 years you can't see me. Now you really can't fucking see me. Because I got my back turned to you with the title up. I like that shit.
Well, Rucker, I think WWE should hire both of us because we think outside of the box. But as we talked about earlier, what gives us evidence that they're not going to stick to the same formulaic situation? And
this motherfucker gonna turn on the Rock and go back babyface at Survivor Series or some shit. Some corny shit.
There you have it. And there you have it. So I'm with you. It'd be cool, but we don't have much evidence to say that they're gonna do some cool shit right now.
Real quick, Roman Reigns made his return last night on Monday Night Raw. Cut a promo against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think it's clear that it was supposed to be Breaker and Seth Rollins against Roman and Jey Uso at SummerSlam. How'd you like the promo? I have a note from it. And then, I mean, you don't have to predict the match, but to me, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have to win. I don't think they will, but I think you're going to kill this faction if they lose. But how'd you like the promo with Roman and Braun Breaker last night?
I thought, Roman has come a long way from his promos from the Big Dog era, and he came into his own with the tribal chief situation that he had and his wise man being on the side. I thought this one went a little bit long because fans are fickle. And you saw like towards the end, he was getting a little what chance. But as we talked about earlier, I think it was the cadence, and he was able to dig himself out of that. But I liked it though. Overall, I thought he had the fire and did what he needed to do, and OTC. So what else can you say about it?
For the past, I don't know, since the Shield days, Roman Reigns has been my favorite male wrestler up until I became a Jey Uso fan years ago. But Roman's still my guy, right? Tribal Chief, acknowledge me. This nigga is a psychopath. He literally came out on national TV and blamed everything on Paul Heyman. And was like, yeah, the Usos helped me, and Solo helped me, and Sammy. We watched you turn on all these people and treat them like dog shit for years. And you're trying to say it was Paul Heyman's fault? Paul Heyman was the one that was like keeping everything together when Roman would be mean to everybody. Like, that shit don't add up to me. And Roman's my guy, but like, you ruined my family. How?
I didn't really think about it from that perspective.
That's exactly what he said. Like, you killed the bloodline. This is a family thing. But man, you were so mean to these people. Everybody in your family left you at one time or another. Couldn't stand you because you was an asshole. And then Paul Heyman left you too because you was an asshole to him. Tell me how he's the babyface in this.
So, I don't know if you have a verbatim. How did he blame Paul Heyman again? I only watched it once.
I only watched it once too, but I just remember him saying like, the Usos helped me and Solo helped me and even Sammy helped me, but you're the reason the bloodline's not around anymore. And it's like, did I not watch every episode of SmackDown for the past 5 years? Like, I'm pretty sure you're the fucking reason the bloodline's not around. Like, You were an asshole. And you still never apologized.
Still hadn't apologized.
And then here comes main event best friend Jey Uso, who don't care about losing the world title. He only cares about being everybody's buddy. To the rescue.
I'd have to go back and watch it just to see if he gave a good reason. But from how you explained it, just from my memory, I guess you got a point. I guess Roman is kind of an asshole, right?
This motherfucker. No accountability. No, man, you destroyed the bloodline. I was just there. Me and my cousins, we was running shit. And then you had to come get in the middle of it. I could see if he would have been like, I didn't want to do my cousins like that, but it was always you telling me, like, I need to be more firm. It was always you telling me He didn't say none of that. He just said you ruined the bloodline. And it's like, from everything I saw on TV, like, Sammy left, Jimmy kicked you in the face, Jay left, Solo turned on you, and then Paul turned on you. Eventually, you got to look in the mirror, dog.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Tribal Chief.
Yeah, man. Like you said, nobody go back and do a deep dive. They just want to see the OTC. Everybody
they don't give a fuck about that. They just want to throw their ones in there. Fuck you talking about, Chris?
Yeah. People have short memories when it comes to their wrestling watch. But, like you said, I don't see an iceberg chance in hell of Braun and Bronson winning that SummerSlam. Like you said, it probably was supposed to be Seth. Even if it was Seth, I don't see them winning. Whoever was opposite of Seth will be taking the pin, which will probably be Braun Breaker. And you think it'll kill them, though, if they lose?
I mean, they already had Bronson Reed standing there like a cheerleader the whole time. Like, he wasn't even involved in it. And then this guy, 2 weeks in a row, he's getting ready to do the tsunami, and he gets ready to step up on the rope, and music comes on, and he just stops. Like, keep climbing the ropes and kill the guy that you're about to kill.
I never understood that in wrestling. Like, why is the entrance in the music, so hypnotic where they don't want to? And it's not just WWE. We saw it in All In Texas. Like, when Edge came out, like, why didn't y'all just do the concerto while you
just do it anyway?
Placating to the crowd. I don't get it, but it's wrestling for you. But,
and it ain't like Edge ran out there and stopped you. Like, he fucking went to both corners of the stage and fucking posing and shit. Hogan must pose.
And I was there watching in real time, so I was seeing what was happening in the ring. I'm like, just do it. Like, he's up there. Like,
just hit him.
Yeah. But I digress.
I feel like Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens used to always call that kind of shit out, I feel like he would have did it anyway. Like, Kevin Owens probably would have talked to the booker like, but I should still hit him though, right? And they're like, no. He's like, yeah, but I should.
Exactly. Only person that's making some sense in there, KO. And I think he just had his neck surgery a couple days ago. So shout out to KO. Wish him a speedy recovery. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm just hoping that this group can stay afloat before, while Seth is recovering and whatnot. And I don't know, man. I can't call it what's going to happen in the time being.
And I guess Roman's just on Raw now.
Yeah, like what? Like, brands don't matter now. What happened to the draft? We hadn't had one this year. Wrestlers just go back and forth. We saw Naomi, but that makes sense because she cashed in on a title so that she transfers. But everyone else has just been going back and forth. Like, what brand is John Cena on?
He is
I guess
brand.
He's a free agent. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, Roman's just on Raw now, even though he was a SmackDown guy for the past 5 years. But, it's whatever, right?
You just mentioned her. I just want to say shout out to Naomi. She's fucking phenomenal last night on Raw. I was about to say Nitro. Her instigating a fight between Io and Stephanie Vaquer was so...
She said it couldn't be me. She said you let her do that without getting your get back. He said it couldn't have been me.
And then turned around and did that fucking laugh and threw her hair in her face. And Stephanie was like, let me go talk to this bitch EO. I don't know what it is about EO and Stephanie Vakir, but I love their promos. Like the fact that English isn't their first language. I was watching the Evolution Battle Royal because I hadn't seen it on TV because I was there like drunk. I was watching on the elliptical, and that promo she cut after was fucking like, she was like, English ain't my first language, but wrestling is. I was like, okay, you got me. I'm in now.
Yeah, no, she's gonna be world champion sooner than later. Like, I could see it being pushed up to WrestleMania, to be honest. So. Yeah, she's able to capitalize and become a star. So, shout out to Stephanie Vakir. But like you said, Naomi, she's been killing it as far as her work.
So funny.
Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Naomi as well.
That's all we got. Besides, I got a couple notes here. Well, first I want to dedicate the show to Christina Milian.
Nice, like one of my early adolescent crush, like high school. I was all about Christina Milian.
Yeah, well, there we go. You don't know who she is, look her up. We got a couple deaths in the world of entertainment. Ozzy Osbourne died today. So rest in peace to Ozzy, singer Black Sabbath. And then even bigger in my world, because I wasn't a big Ozzy Osbourne fan, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo Huxtable died. You know what's crazy is, so we're going to the beach next week, and I don't like the ocean. Like, I don't like getting in the water and shit. And I always joke with my girlfriend, like, I'm scared of a fucking riptide coming through. And she's like, oh, you just swim sideways to it, whatever. Like, if it happens, it happens. And I'm like, no, that shit can kill you. And to find out that that's what killed him is crazy to me. Like, so random.
Yeah. And tying it to wrestling, Crime Time. Shot? Wasn't it Riptide that got him too?
I don't want to say that that's what it was. I know it was, they were in the water, but for some reason I think there was like a boat and a raft involved. I don't know if it was a Riptide or not. So I don't want to speak out of sequence with that, but it was a water thing. But yeah, fucking ocean, man. It's a scary fucking, and it's aliens in there, you know? Fucking octopus. That's not from Earth.
Yeah, man. It's been happening it's been like, blown up by the media the past 5 or so years with the riptides. You always hear stories here and there, but that's sad as far as Malcolm Warner goes. Like, he wasn't even old. He was like in his early 50s. So
yeah.
And I grew up in a beach town, so I go to the beach every time I go back and see my parents, and I always hear the stories of riptides, and when I'm reading them, I get scared. But when I'm out there in the beach, I don't even think twice about it. I'm out there. I don't get too deep in the ocean, but when nature calls, I'll go out there and do what I need to do. I don't go past my knees, but you never know. So I don't know. Maybe I need to be more aware, because I've been hearing like a lot of riptides happening, and that's some scary shit.
It's funny because last year we were at Carolina Beach, right? And the water was real like rough. And my girlfriend and all her family, they're like way out there. Like way the fuck out there. And they're like, the water's not rough out here. Like once you get past your chest and shoulders, like the water actually slows down. I'm like, yeah, but that's where the riptides get you. And they're all just like, yeah, but you just swim parallel with the beach and it'll be over with in a little while. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, and I'm a strong swimmer too, but like you said, the ocean is a different animal. Like, I was in the cenotes in Mexico in 30 feet deep water and jumping off cliffs, and I'm good with that. But like the ocean, you can't predict what the waves will do. So
right.
I've been more cognizant of that recently, and so I don't need to go past my knees if I'm at the beach. I just need to go there, take a piss, and go back out. Splash around a little bit and go back out.
I don't even go to my knees. You see me sitting down? That's what's happening. I'm getting out there just low enough to where you can't see me peeing up in the air. But yeah, it's not to make a joke out of it, but yeah, rest in peace Malcolm Jamal Warner and Ozzy Osbourne. And again, a reminder, SummerSlam is Saturday, August 2nd, and we will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're looking for our show to be posted the week leading up to SummerSlam, it will not be, because I will be on vacation, and we will post that Saturday with all of our predictions. Hopefully you can join us live in the chat. I know a lot of people listen back on audio and watch the replay at a later date, but hopefully you're at home chilling and you can come join the live chat like After Show But Later did today, and we'll read your comments on the air. You can talk to us live, and yeah. If you ain't got anything else, EJ, I'll get up out of here.
You hit everything. We appreciate the support as always, so make sure you stay locked in.
Shout out to Brian from 80s Wrestling Podcast and Jeff and Scott over at Fully Posable. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Until next time, peace!
Yeah, Mr. Chaos. Boot to the face. Let's go. California.